Hello Aromas, this is Aromie here. Welcome back to Café Enchanté. We're here. All the guys are going upstairs to check their bedroom and I'm gonna be thinking. Monsieur I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, so I'm gonna say Monsieur. The last one to leave winked at me as he spoke. After the sounds of their steps faded away, the space around me was hushed in comparison to how it was moments ago. But then this would have been what Enchanté would have been right now if those men hadn't arrived. People from other worlds, non-humans, come here to this cafe. Huh. At first I was wondering if I should even bother trying to run a cafe at all. Now as I sit here by myself, I'm beginning to question the very nature of reality. Ugh. I need to gather my thoughts. Monsieur was considerate enough to let me have some time alone. Maybe I should go outside and get some air. This place is really beautiful though. I look to the horizon, the sun is setting. I take in its lights and let out a sigh. The cold begins to grip me as the day ends. I sit on a bench and go over everything that had just happened. I found that door. I met Monsieur and the others. Canis, Il, and Ignis. They all claim they aren't human. All of this easily erasing whatever knowledge of the world I used to hold. The fuck? Ow. I know it was cliche, but I pinched my cheek to make sure I could still feel. That was me pinching my cheek? It sounded like I cracked my back. I did, so that meant this is all real. I pinched my elbow with my hand, but of course the result the same. Sitting there, I took a breath deeper than the deepest ocean. It seems like every guest Grandpa rented to develop a meaningful friendship with him.
場所だけはね。けどそこが居心地のいい場所かどうか、それはまた別の問題でしょ。
The shop itself, certainly. This place remaining pleasant or not? Well, that's another issue, isn't it?
俺たちが望んでいる場所は、この店のアンシャンテのマスターが俺たち人外を心よく迎えてくれる場所なんだ。
Would like to stay here at this cafe, where Enchanté's keeper would welcome us non-human with open arms. Holding this irritable feeling. Ugh. I let out a groan. It was a sound no one would expect to come from someone like me. What do I do? The sunset, so pretty. But I can only escape my reality for so long. As if to try and find an answer, I opened the letter from Grandpa once again. To Michiko. Oh wait, there's more to the letter. So I only read part of it to them. I was originally just going to leave a message with you over social media.
遺言として認められないらしい。だから仕方なく手紙に書いとく。スタンプとか使える方が便利なのにな。
But I guess that's not suitable for a will. They want me to write to you in a letter. Nice sentiment, but I prefer the keyboard. Honestly, he always loved breaking the mold. A bittersweet feeling draws a smile. I bite my lip as I read over the letter again. An official will was delivered to my parents, so this is basically just a personal message from grandfather to granddaughter. Most of the content was just random chatter. Questions about me eating properly, making sure I was being nice to my parents, and if I was doing okay at the company where I got my job, things like that. When Grandpa would come to the house every so often, we had so much fun talking. He was sensitive to how I felt. He never did try to pry too much into my daily life. I guess this letter helped him work through all that concern he must have had for me. I'm sorry, Grandpa. Aww. Damn, so the place I don't like is my job. It's difficult to talk about out loud, but the food supply company where I was hired was infamous for being strict about the work. That became apparent right away once I started my job there. The sales department would go door to door selling health products and supplements that were basically scams. As an office worker, I dealt with all the complaints that came from customers each day and night. They brought me on right out of high school, even though I had barely made the cut, so I forced myself to endure the labor. But after so many days of working there, the ringing of a phone would trigger me. I could still hear my boss yelling. So like work exhaustion. You can always be replaced. Just do what I say. You have nowhere else to go, do you? No one needs you. That feeling of being replaced as a retail employee or like an employee in general is so degrading. Like shit. Like you feel like you're the best employee, but you can be easily replaced by somebody else younger and better than you, and it's just so depressing. I was tired, bitter, and just wanted to quit. It was at that time when I got Grandpa's letter, which I'm looking at right now.
辛かったら逃げてこい。ジジイの道楽で始めた店だが。
If things get tough, you can always come back. The shop was an old man's
それ
hobby.
がお前の居場所になるならそれでいい。お前の人生だ。お前が自分で決めていいんだ。
But if it means something more to you too, that's just fine. Your life is in your hands. You choose to live it exactly how you want. Yo, Grandpa sounds like a really nice man. I fold the letter and take a deep breath. There's one here to guide me now. There's no one here to guide me now, but still I really hate that there isn't. I know I just want things to be easy. I think of what Grandpa would say, wishing that he were here right now. I thought they went to check on their rooms. Major, I think you need to get some casual clothing on, sir. I don't think you could just casually walk out like this unless no one can see you but me. My face lifts up at the doorbell ringing to see Monsieur standing there.
俺だけはアンシャンテに泊まったりしてなかったからさ。
Well, I'm the only one who wasn't actually staying over at Enchanté.
特に部屋も借りてないし、ただブラブラって店の中うろついてきただけ。
I wasn't really renting a room either, so I was just kind of wandering around inside a cafe.
まあその代わり毎日欠かさず来店してたけどね。魔王の仕事があるから基本夜には帰っちゃうけど。
But I did come to the cafe every day, though I did have my Demon King duties to attend to, so I usually left at night. Monsieur smiles, adding that he'd continue to come if I were to take over the shop. He then comes to sit on the bench with me. Oh, I didn't expect that. I'm sure it's not as bad as ill, but I did imagine that you'd be living here too.
俺ってばそんなに怠惰な感じ？いると一緒とかちょっとショックかも。
Do I look like that much of a mess? You actually thought I was like him. Ill is a mess? I couldn't really see that at all. More importantly, is it okay for you to look like that out here?
大丈夫大丈夫。魔王様はチートが使えてなんぼですよ。他人の認識いじるなんてちゃちゃいなちゃい。
Don't worry, Demon Kings have any numbers of ways to cheat. Fiddling with the consciousness is easy. So you're just gonna brainwash someone? He stretched calmly, saying that scary fact. I wonder how detached from humanity he really was. I mean, just look at his clothes. His face, the way he talks, the way he laughs. Maybe he doesn't look that different yet.
あ、というか、まだ考え事の最中だった。提案したくせに邪魔しちゃったらごめん。
Oh, were you still thinking about it? Sorry to interrupt when I suggested that you do that. Oh, no, it's fine. Actually, in all honesty, it was helpful that he came to chat. I couldn't help but feel like thinking about this all on my own would just get me down.
それさ、ソーアンからの手紙。
Hey, is that the letter from Swan? As he pointed to that letter, I realized I forgot to put it away. Oh, yes, it is. I was holding it to my chest out of reflex, probably because it was taking me through all those memories and emotions just now. Responding ambivalently, fuck, oh my god. He stares at the letter for a moment, then speaks.
ソーアンってさ、
So, about Swan.
辛いもの食べられないの知ってた？唐辛子とかもう全然ダメでさ。
His facial expression right now. Did you know he couldn't eat spicy stuff? He had such a hard time with hot peppers. His sudden comment caught me off guard. Huh? I never knew. Grandpa always seemed so sprightly.
だよね。キャラじゃないよね。その他にも、実はゴキブリがダメとかさ。
Right? It wasn't a quirk for a show. He had issues with other things too, like cockroaches. Really? Well, I can't do with cockroaches either. Can you imagine Grandpa like squealing like a little girl? Monsieur continues on, speaking kindly of the grandfather I didn't know, though I'm sure it was a tiny bit of things he wanted to say. I could tell these memories were very precious to him.
そうあんはさ、大雑把な性格の割に上手だったんだよね。コーヒー入れるの。
So on, he was pretty good at pouring coffee, despite how much he didn't fuss with the intricate details of things. Yeah, it was only when he poured coffee, though only might be a bit mean, that he was so intentional and serious. Monsieur nods in agreement with my
魔
comment.
王も騎士も打天使も魔獣も
Demon kings, knights, fallen angels, and beasts.
この店にいる限りはただの客。
While we were here, we were just guests.
コーヒーを頼んでおやつをつまんでただただそんな時間を楽しむ場所。
Ordering coffee and eating snacks, you could always just relax here.
そういう場所なんだよここは。だからこそ俺たちはこの店がアンシャンテが好きなんだ。
That's the sort of shop this is. That's why we love to be at this cafe. It's why we love Enchanté. You're not gonna ask me, are you, to take over the cafe?
まあそうだね。
Well, yeah, I guess you're right.
うまく言えないけどそれは違うかなって。そりゃついで欲しいは欲しいけどさ。
It's hard to put it into words. It just wouldn't feel right. I mean, as much as I like you to. I guess, in a way, he's right. He doesn't want to force someone to take a job that they don't want to take. But I feel like she's going to take it anyway because we had to, like, get to know all these characters and, like, fall in love with them. So we are obviously going to take the job. And fuck that scamming job that we currently have. Laughing a bit to himself, he stood up, looking satisfied somehow.
とにかくさ、何もかもが君にとっては急すぎるし、決断が難しいのは承知の上だよ。
Anyway, I know this is happening so fast. I'm sure it's hard to make a decision. After a non-response, he pauses for a moment, then speaks
明日
again.
の予定は
Michiko, are you doing anything tomorrow?
そうあんに聞いてたけど、確か今の勤め先って東北なんだよね。もう帰っちゃったりするかな。
I'm still working at that place. If I remember from what Swan told me, you work northeast from here, don't you? Are you going to go home already? Tomorrow? I don't have anything planned. As for work... Did I quit? Please tell me I quit. I probably didn't though, because I don't know if I want the shop yet, right? Michiko? Oh, right. Yeah, I don't have anything planned.
そっか。じゃあ明日またここに来てみない？
I see, then how about you come back here? To Enchanté.
そう。もちろん君さえ嫌じゃなければだけど。
Yes, if you don't mind, of course.
せっかく時間があるならいろいろ話してみたくてさ。店を継ぐ継がないは別として。
If you have the time, I'd like to talk with you some more, but not necessarily about the cafe.
俺は君のことを知りたいし、君に俺のことを知ってほしい。
Yo, Monsieur is a natural flirt. Unless he's not flirting, but I'm taking it as a flirt. I want to know more about you, and I like to get to know me a little. Wait, I like you to get to know me a little better. Monsieur gave a smile that did not look at all suspicious and was actually friendly. I haven't been asked a question like that in a while, outside of a family context, anyway. I put up my garden reflex and probed him. And why would you want to do that?
それはもちろん運命の出会いだから。なんちゃってね。
Because this meeting was destiny, of course. I'm just kidding. Even if it was a joke, he had the guts to mention something as cheesy as destiny, and him saying it with such a carefree smile brought a smile to my face as well. Yes, it's possible that this is destiny, considering it would be impossible for a normal person to meet a demon king.
お、魔王様ってことやっと信じてくれた？
Oh, you finally believe that I'm a demon king. I mean, who wouldn't? You're literally not cosplaying. Your fingernails are long as fuck. You have horns by your ears. Well, I wouldn't get anywhere if I didn't.
なんだ妥協か。まだ疑わしいって言うなら、もっと説得力ある証拠を見せてあげるよ。
So you're compromising then, hmm? If you're still suspicious, I can show you evidence that would change your mind. Evidence?
そうだね。例えばロマンチックに。
What if I were to romantically
あの太陽を砕いてみてとか、この星を跡形もなく滅ぼして。
Break the sun into pieces. Or remove the stars from the sky without a trace. That's not romantic. I want the sun and I want the stars. What?
君直々のお願いならそのぐらいのことはしてあげるよ。
I could do that much if you were to ask me directly, you know? I would not ask you to do that. Is that romantic? His smile scares me, as if to say that he would actually go through with all that.
まあその件も含めてさ、明日のご来店お待ちしております。
Well, with that in mind, I'll be waiting for you here at the cafe tomorrow. I'm assuming he's supposed to be the flirt out of the bunch. Jesus, don't tell him please don't tell him to shatter the sun. Like, what the heck? But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.